Hi guys, welcome to my Instagram page. I am Dr. Ghazal Gupta. I am a dentist and a gum specialist. I hope all of you had a wonderful Diwali with your friends and family and have gotten back to work. Well, in today's video, I will be talking about a very common oral health issue, but probably one of the least commonly spoken about. I'm talking about bad breath or oral malodor or halitosis, scientifically speaking. Well, and the ways in which it can affect your relationships, not just relationship with your lovers, but also with your boss, with your co-workers, as well as your clients. Now imagine this, you've had a wonderful date with a wonderful human being and you probably feel that he or she is the one. And then at the end of the date, when you actually lean in to kiss the person, there emanates an extremely foul odor from that beautiful face and you step back. Or you might be on the other side of the table and as soon as you try to kiss your partner retracts. Isn't that embarrassing? I'm sure it is. But the good news is that it is very much treatable as long as you actually take the initiative to take some efforts to either prevent it or treat it. Your breath can nearly make or break your relationship, either with your partner or with your colleagues or your boss for that matter. So it's extremely important. The only thing is that people don't talk about it too much. They might talk amongst themselves that, this person has a bad breath, and you'll never know. And even if you do come to know, probably you'll feel so embarrassed that you wouldn't know what to do about it. It will break your confidence. Every time you're talking to somebody, you would be thinking that, oh my God, is my mouth stinking? Or is this person not going to like me? So it is actually a much deeper problem than just affecting your oral health, right? So I decided to make a small awareness video, and I'll be talking about the causes as well as the ways in which you can treat and prevent it. Let's start with the causes. Now, mostly in 90% of the cases, the cause starts in your oral cavity. It could be one of the following reasons. One, that the food that you're eating is not being completely rinsed off your mouth or is not being ingested properly. So part of it remains in your mouth. It gets stuck if you have gaps in between your teeth or some small cavities which you are not aware of course. And the food remains there. As it remains there, it begins to decay and the bacteria acts on them and it begins to stink. Or you might not be cleaning your tongue properly. Now the surface of the tongue is rough, so it is very retentive to food. So if you actually remove your tongue and see in the mirror, it might have a nice coating of yellowish stuff on it. So that is not supposed to be there. So you should be cleaning your tongue regularly. And you should be rinsing your mouth after every meal. I'm sure all of us are brushing well. But you know what? Sometimes that is not enough. So that is one. There might be some remnant food particles in your mouth which are causing the smell to emanate. The second possible and probably one of the most common causes, dental issues, like proper dental oral health issues, which means that you either may have a really huge carious lesion in your mouth or a broken toothpaste which is infected and causes that smell to come out. You may be aware of the carious lesion but never bother to get it filled because you feel, oh, it doesn't hurt, why should I even go to a dentist? But that one cavity or that broken tooth could possibly be the cause of the malodor that is coming out of your mouth. So you need to get that fixed. That is one. Secondly, you may not have any decay, you may not have any proper gaps in between your teeth, but there might be presence of periodontal pockets. Now what is a pocket? So if you know how the tooth structure is, you have a tooth which is surrounded by gums. We all are aware of that. But do you know that there is this very fine sulcus or a gap between the tooth and the gums? Now that gap is called as a sulcus. As long as it is not more than 2 to 3 millimeters, it is supposed to be healthy. The moment it becomes more than 3, it moves to 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. That is when a pocket is formed. You most probably will not be aware of it if you've never gotten it checked. So there is a proper gum evaluation. We call it as a periodontal evaluation in order to check if you have pockets. if you have pockets, and there's a very high chance that your gums are not completely adherent to the tooth. So there's a nice pocket which is welcoming all the food that you're eating, or possibly the plaque which you're not able to clean at the time of brushing. It stays there and it continues to cause destruction there. The moment the destruction happens, the bacteria interacts, there's a lot of foul odor that is again excreted from the pocket, and you get the smell. So possibly you may be having pyorrhea in a very layman term, if I can say, or maybe just a mild form of periodontitis. Again, very much treatable. We'll come to that as well, how you can manage or treat that. So yes, dental issues are one of the most common causes of oral malodor or halitosis. Thirdly, there might be an underlying medical condition that you may or may not be aware of, which is causing that bad breath to come. Commonly, if I could name a few, diabetes. Now, a lot of diabetic patients have a very typical keto breath, and that could be one of the causes that probably people feel that there is this bad smell coming out of your mouth. You may not have any issues in the oral cavity, so again you need to get yourself checked. Second possible issue could be sinusitis. Sinusitis can be a probably one of the most common medical conditions causing the bad breath, because as we know that the nasopharynx and the oral cavity is connected. So again, if you have chronic sinusitis problem, that could be one of the causes of malodor. So again, you need to get yourself checked by an ENT surgeon and take the necessary measures. Thirdly, you may have a gastric esophageal reflux disease, which means that the food is constantly being thrown up. There is an acidic reflux, because of which again your oral cavity might stink up. That is again a field which for which you need to see either a physician or a gastroenterologist. Many times you may not be aware that you have these medical conditions, and you probably go to a dentist and the dentist checks you and doesn't find any oral reason. He or she may refer you to these medical specialists, which might actually find out that you have some underlying medical condition. So it could be indicative of a deeper problem, right? So yeah, so these are, I think, more or less the causes. One more thing, inadequate hydration. A lot of us don't drink enough water. In fact, if in cases where you're probably busy doing some work, you're working on the laptop continuously, you don't have time to drink water. And the moment someone comes and talks to you and you speak to them, you must have noticed they slightly retract. So that happens naturally because your mouth dries up. So if you haven't been hydrating yourself, if you're not drinking enough water, it can also cause your mouth to stink. So make sure you constantly have water. Even if you're working, you need to have water by your side so your mouth is hydrated. Or you can use chewing gums to constantly keep the salivary flow active in your mouth. Now if someone actually comes up to you and says that you have a problem of bad breath, so I know that the immediate reaction is embarrassment. You feel sorry for yourself and you get very angry on the person who has actually told you. Ideally, you should be thankful to that person, because not many people have the guts to come and say it to your face. Now that person has come, the first thing that you should do is acknowledge it, accept it, and thank the person. Thank you so much for letting me know. I know it's difficult initially, but it is something that you should know, because it can go a very long way to affect all the people around you, your self-confidence, etc., etc. So once you come to know that you have an issue, firstly, I would suggest go to a dentist, because dentists are oral healthcare workers. 90% of the times, it's usually the causes in your oral cavity. So first, let's rule out that. You go to a dentist, he or she examines your mouth. They will ask you about the frequency with which you get it clean, that is oral prophylaxis. Now what is oral prophylaxis? Oral prophylaxis is nothing but scaling and polishing. Scaling of all the plaque and tartar that accumulates in your teeth. A lot of patients feel that since I'm brushing twice a day, I don't need to get my teeth cleaned. No, that is your personal oral hygiene, but there is something called as a professional oral hygiene with professional cleaning, which needs to be done by the dentist, and everybody needs it. Even we need it. Even as dentists, we need it. It's not like it is something only if you have a bad breath or maybe it's something, my mouth is very clean, I don't need it. No, that's not true. So that if you haven't been doing that regularly. So when I say regularly, it means once in 6 months is the ideal time that you should get your teeth scaled and polished. Now there's a myth, all my dentist friends would agree, every second patient who has been recommended scaling would say that, would it loosen my teeth? Would it cause some damage to my teeth? So I can tell you this right now, 100%, that there's absolutely no damage to your teeth when you do scaling. In fact, if you don't do it over a period of time, the tartar that accumulates will cause bone loss or gum loss and would lead to the loss of your teeth. And unfortunately, gum disease is a very silent disease. It progresses over a period of time, and then one fine day you realize that, you know what, I think my teeth are shaking, and there's a bit of sensitivity, slightly my teeth are hurting when I eat, but it's not too much. And when you come on the dental chair and I see most of the teeth are mobile. I've had patients in the age group of 20 to 30 who never gotten themselves checked, and one fine day they decide to go to the dentist because they feel that the teeth are shaking. And when I actually evaluate them, I see that almost 50% of the teeth are mobile. They're shaking. So I'm not trying to scare you. Not everybody would probably lead to that at such a young age, but yes, it's very much a possibility. So I cannot stress it enough. Me being a gum specialist, periodontist, please get your regular scalings and polishings done. If not once in 6 months, once a year, definitely. Right? So so if they feel that you need a scaling which you haven't done since years or you've never done it, so that would probably be the first line of treatment. Followed by your maintenance. Like I said, you need to rinse after every meal. The dentist will advise you in ways in which you can keep your oral hygiene up to the mark. Twice brushing, using interdental floss. Flossing is very important. It takes care of a lot of food that gets stuck in between the teeth. So yes, flossing is something which you should be doing. If you're not able to floss, there are several other ways. There are these interdental brushing aids which you can use if you have too many gaps in between the teeth. Or one of the other options which is very frequent, which is very common in the Western countries, is irrigation devices, water flosser. It's become very common even in India now, and we recommend it to a lot of patients. But you may not, all patients may not need it. But some of them who find it difficult to keep their teeth clean or have malocclusions or crowding because of which they are not able to maintain, no matter how much they brush, it goes a long way. So yeah, these are some oral hygiene techniques which would be explained by the dentist depending on the condition of your teeth. Followed by probably a mouthwash which would be recommended by the dentist. There are different kinds of mouthwashes. One is the regular mouthwashes that you use, Listerine, and then you have the medicated mouthwashes which might be prescribed to you, which you probably have to use for a couple of weeks, and then you're good to go. Secondly, if there is any, like I said, if there is a carious lesion in your mouth and which requires a root canal and a cap, please go for it so that the tooth doesn't deteriorate, you don't lose your tooth eventually. And again, the tongue cleaning is extremely important. You should be using a tongue cleaner as explained previously in the video. If you have a little bit of an advanced gum disease, which may be a possibility if the pockets are too deep, then we may recommend you something little more than a superficial cleaning. It might be a deep cleaning or it might be a flap procedure, which the dentist would be explaining to you. If there's no other cause in the oral cavity, then like I said, you would be referred to the specific physician or the medical specialist who would see you and would check if there's any other cause which could be causing the malodor. If you want to prevent this from happening, if you don't have it right now, but you want to make sure it doesn't happen to you, so first and foremost, yes, your oral hygiene has to be up to the mark. Brushing twice a day, flossing, using a tongue cleaner, keeping yourself hydrated, gargling, swishing your mouth with water every time you have any meal so that there is no food that remains in your mouth. Keeping yourself hydrated, I think I already spoke about. And most importantly, visiting the dentist once in 6 months. At least that will make sure of any dental cause, they'll rule out any dental cause which may be causing it. Right? So yes, it's very much treatable, guys, and not many people know that halitosis or oral malodor is something which can easily be treated by just one visit to a dentist. And that's why I decided to make a video on it, and it does affect, as mentioned previously, it goes a long way. It affects your relationship with the people around you, and goes a really long way as far as that is concerned. Also, if you know anybody who probably is suffering from this condition, I would advise you to please let them know in a very subtle way so that they don't feel bad about it, because believe me, you will be doing an immense favor to that patient, to that person, sorry. So yeah, so that's about it, guys. If you have any other questions, please let me know. I just decided to do a video on this because I thought it's probably the need of the hour and not something that is spoken too much about. Okay, thank you guys, have a great day, take care.